You know, we have a really young team. Young in terms of like being able to play in this kind of game, you know? They don't know how to play in this kind of game. I don't care whether it's Kyla or Kristen or they don't know how to play in this kind of game with you're counting on them to make shots that other people used to make for them. So we're kind of immature in that way. So in the fourth quarter, we got 4 stops in a row, and it was a 1-point game. And we came out empty-handed all 4 of those possessions. I think had we scored on 3 of those 4 possessions, I think the game would have taken a different turn. But we're just not capable of making those plays yet. And the shots that we got, some of them looked like a shooting drill, that we were wide open. I mean, we shot air balls and we were wide open. What do you do about that? I don't know. I knew down the other end it was going to be tough. But, you know, before, let me tell you how immature they are, too. There's a minute left in the game, and they're fouling, thinking we can get a 16-point play. Is that dumb or what? You know, we're going to lose by 8. It's the difference if we lose by 17. Dummies. Anyway, so we knew they were going to get probably to 65, 67, and then we needed to get to 70, 75. And that we needed to make more threes than them. We made 8, they made 7. We needed to make 10 or 11. And we didn't. But I thought for 30 minutes, I thought we were pretty good. We were pretty good.
You know, is this a group, that quick learning group, that if you play this again in March, it's a different story? You think it'll be a little bit better then?
I think if you ask them tomorrow who we played tonight, they won't remember. Some of them won't, anyway. They have very short memories, kids today. So in the next couple of months, that's the plan, you know? You take what happened today and you go, okay, what areas that we can't fix, because that's just who we are, and what areas can we get better at? You know, some years you're just not going to be able to fix the things that your team is. You know, we're not going to fix our size problem. It's not getting fixed. You know? So we got to deal with it. We got to deal with it.
But, you know, to that end, Smith and Cox outscored Olivia and Irwin 36-0.
Yeah.
I mean, that's stark.
Yeah.
Is that fixable?
No. It's not.
So how do you compensate?
Make more threes. Because in spite of all that, it's a 1-point game. We knew we can't guard them in the lane. We can't. We just can't. So every one of those threes that was wide open, we shot 8 for 26. We need to go 12, 13 for 26. And Liv, that's where Liv is right now. This game right here, this is where Liv is right now. Will that change? I think. That would change, I think. It will.
Is she one of those players with a short memory? Liv?
Huh?
Is Liv one of those players with a short memory?
That was a little joke there.
Yeah, Liv, she's a different breed, man. But she'll get better. The next time we play, you know, in this kind of game, she'll play a lot better.
Tim says she thinks there's 6 teams that can win it all. Them being one, you being one. Are you on the same?
No, we're not at the same level they are. We don't have enough. Like, that first half, they made a bunch of threes. That's not normally what they do. So if they're going to do that and play the way they play inside, that'd be hard to beat them. But in the second half, they made maybe 2 threes. That was it. But,
You know, can you think of another year when on January night you sat up there and said, we're not at the same level they are, and then 3 months later, you were?
I don't think so, but we've never been in this situation before. We never had this many players that we're relying on that haven't been exposed to this. Usually by this time in the year, the guys that were All-Americans last year are carrying the load, but we don't have any. So it's all brand new for these guys. And it's funny because when you talk to them, they almost look at you like, "What do you- oh, I didn't know that." Like, yeah. You know those dopes that were guarding you last year? Well, now the guys that were guarding Fisa and Lou are guarding you. So whatever you were doing to try to get open last year, it ain't going to work this year. And it's like a shocker to them that things are harder, much harder. And it takes some getting used to. Takes some getting used to. I would have been more disappointed if those first 3 quarters we didn't get the shots. Like if a lot of that 3 quarters went the way the fourth quarter went, I would tell you, you know what? There won't be any games in March. But I got to believe we get the same shots, and as many of them as we got, we're going to make more of them. But we didn't. So they win. Not that complicated.
Positive, Kristen played pretty well, except for threes, which she's been missing all year.
Yeah. Oh, I never worry about Kristen in these games. Kristen can take the ball and pretty much go wherever she wants with it. And she's fearless. And yeah, she's not shot the ball well from the perimeter this year. But I don't worry about her. And she's only a sophomore. So she's going to get better. For sure. She'll get a lot better. I mean, Dan, you know, the question that you asked, Mike, I don't think on signing day I said, you know, I'm really, really excited. Because Kyla is going to be starting for us against Baylor. That wasn't her role. Her role was going to be come off the bench and give us 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Now she's got to play 30 minutes. It's almost not even fair to the kid. But she held her own for long stretches. What can I tell you?
So, how do you deal with this? I mean,
How do I?
You always say that, you know, when you play cards, you want the best hand forward,
Yeah.
the whole thing. You don't have that now.
Right.
How do you deal with
Make sure my wife doesn't know I'm spending all that money, because I'm going to lose. I'm a very realistic person, you know. I've always been pretty good at looking at our team and saying, you know what? This is what this team is capable of doing. Because we have this, and this. And I'm also very capable of looking at my team and saying, our team doesn't have this, and this. So I can't change that. All I can do is get this team to be as good a team as they can be, whatever that is. I don't know where that is right now. I mean, we'll be better than we were today, obviously. But how good come March, I don't know. But you know, when you're in Connecticut, it's like just the fact that people voted us number 1. I said to somebody, I said, who are these dopes that vote? You know, like there's half asleep, you know, having a couple pops. Hey, I got to put the poll in, number 1. A couple teams lost. UConn, send it in. So when I heard that, I said, oh my God. So I know what my team is. I know what we got. And there's nothing to criticize. There's nothing to complain about. There's nothing, you know, to say, oh, this team doesn't have this team didn't do this team doesn't have that. No kidding. No kidding. We're like a lot of teams in the country now. You know? There's teams that haven't won a national championship that have been in the top 10, top 15 in the country that haven't won a national championship in any of my players' lifetime. So if I was coaching one of those teams, I'd be like, damn. But I'm not. So I'm good. I'm good. I feel pretty good about it. As I said, I think at this time of the year, you have to treat every game, especially a game like this against a really, really good team, you have to treat it like it's like it's another part of your class. It's a class, and this is one of the tests you have to take. And there's one every month. And what would be devastating would be if this was the final, and now we're done. That would be a shitty way to go out, if this was the final. But it's not. It's not.
Did you see anything good from Olivia? I know we talked about how she struggled on offense, but defensively, do you think
No.
she can?
No. Nope. If I did, she would have been in the game longer. You know, when the season started, I said Liv is probably the most key guy, one of the, that we're going to need. And tonight just didn't work out.
Geno, you obviously saw Anna play when she was over in Europe, and I could only go secondhand when I would ask a couple of the WNBA players you played with and against. And the players told me that she was good offensively, wasn't very good defensively. And she averaged about 8, 9 points in that league, and I don't know how good the league is. She's scoring about 3 or 4.
Well, that league's pretty good when you think about some of the players that play in it. I don't know if Tiffany Hayes is any good, but she plays in that league. So I'm thinking they got a bunch of players at that level. But
Why is offense a struggle for her?
why? I don't know. It's a combination of things, she's her own worst enemy. She plays tentative for whatever reason. She plays tentatively, But she's actually getting better, believe it or not. She's actually getting better. Thought the last couple games she's been better. And she will be better. The more games she plays, she will be better.
Is there any way to explain all the missed labs? Is it them thinking maybe they're going to get fouled going in?
The missed labs? It's women's basketball. It's the best answer I could give you. I see more missed labs at our practices this year than I've seen in 15 years of coaching. Why is that? I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. No idea. But I think, you know what? I think the Megan layup on that back door, I think that was a little bit demoralizing. Because I thought like that would have been a huge bam. But it wasn't meant to be.
You said in the past, after Stewie's group graduated, that the team was winning, but you knew that there was false hope in a sense.
Yeah.
At some point they were going to lose, and that would
Yeah.
help you guys, and it never happened. With this team, is it the same feeling that now that you have this loss, that maybe, hey, this is what I've been saying we need to fix, and now they'll appreciate it, or is you know what you have, and it sounds like they sort of forget about things right away?
Yeah, no, I think the realistic part is in order to win at the highest level and win a national championship, you have to have all the pieces that we had when we had Stewie in them. And when that class graduated, you knew we just don't have all that, but we can win it. So that year after Stewie graduated, I thought we were good enough to win a national championship. The following year, not so much. Not so much. Now somebody, people send me emails, you ain't so special. You only win championships when you have the best player. But you have no idea the dopes I got to deal with. So who won a national championship last year? Baylor, right? They had a couple really dominant players, right? Who won it the year before? Notre Dame? They had a couple really dominant players, right? Who won it the year before that? Mississippi State, South Carolina. They had a pretty dominant player, right? If you don't have those guys, you ain't winning a national championship. That's all there is to it. That doesn't mean you can't get lucky, but that's the reality of it. That's the reality of it.
Coach, can I ask you just your thoughts on Baylor in terms of, Kalani Brown's not there, but Melissa Smith is sort of at the
Yeah.
level of their game. How are they different this year than playing them last year?
I think they're able to score a lot of different ways. They're not so predictable. Last year it was hard to guard them because, with Kalani Brown and Lauren Cox under there, it was really hard. But with Melissa Smith, they're just way more athletic now. So they can beat you a lot of different ways instead of just posting you up and throwing it in there. And Lauren's making more shots from the perimeter than she did last year. And as I said, if they're going to get a couple threes, 3 or 4 or 5 threes every game from a couple guys, then it makes them almost impossible to defend.